Hello, this is Professor Couture. Welcome to this video, which is a overview or a tour of the syllabus in our course, Developing a Foundation for Success, Wellness, Internships, and Employment. At the outset, I want to point out that the version that you are seeing here differs very slightly, and I've noted the differences between the version that you may have received previously. The highlighted information shown on this version, which is also posted on Canvas, notes those changes. Second of all, this is a lengthy document, but it serves three purposes. First, it is a roadmap for us. Second, it is a contract for us. And third, it's a resource for all of us. So it is lengthy by design. I'm making a commitment in this document as to what we're going to cover, what your grade is going to be based on, how I'm going to grade you, and the policies that are going to apply in this course. If you have any questions, you certainly should ask for clarification, and I'd be more than happy to try and answer any of your questions. So let's get started. The front page obviously contains the basic information, including the two textbooks that you're required to have in this class. Your required reading, as it will be stated in the syllabus, at the very end of the syllabus is actually the course schedule. We will reach that after we cover the other matters. And the other thing that I will mention is not only do you have textbooks, they're not textbooks, they're readers, they're short readers. In addition, there is required reading and other course materials, which is noted in the course schedule part of the syllabus, which is at the very end. Okay, if you have tech support issues, please do reach out to IT Service Desk. The phone number and the email is here. They can't help if they don't know what the problem is. The syllabus is set up to be hyperlinked so that if you, let's say, as you look at this, you think, oh, okay, I want to know what the class format and policies are. If you click the control button on your computer and hold down the control button and click policies and click on it, it will bring you to that part of the syllabus. So it's an interactive syllabus in that regard. You using the table of contents, you should be able to navigate to whatever you are interested in finding. You'll see that it is, as I mentioned, quite long. And again, it is because it is what I promised to do, what you can hold me accountable for in terms of what you're going to be expected to do and how it's going to be graded, and a number of other important things. So the course description is here. As you know from having watched the overview of the course, I basically emphasized all of the things that are in the course description in that course overview video, and I would encourage you, if you haven't already done so, to please watch it. For those of you who are planning to do an internship at any point for credit at Curry, you must earn a C or better in this course in order to be eligible for the either the CJ, or any other internship. Okay, I covered our work together in this course in the introduction to the course video. I covered the cautionary notes in the introduction to the course video and invite you to go back there. The course learning outcomes I mentioned in the course overview video. They are in 3 different categories with specific learning outcomes within each categories. So the 8 dimension of wellness and incorporating specific wellness practices into your life, career exploration and development, and the third grouping or category is internship search and early career planning. So there are a number of assignments in this course, all of which relate to some degree, lesser or greater, to one or more of those categories or the specific items listed therein. Skills developed in this course I covered previously, but they are listed here. Course format I covered, which is that while I do some lecturing, there is an expectation that you will come to class ready, prepared, and ready and able to contribute to class activities and discussions. We will be modeling career readiness competencies, and that means getting ready for the world of work, starting with an internship and then moving forward from there. And those career readiness competencies or skills are what drives the policies in this class about coming to class on time and remaining in class, about coming to class prepared, just as you will need to go to work prepared for whatever the assignment of the day is, or what you may discover when you get there is a new assignment. Bringing your class preparation work to class, taking class notes, asking relevant questions, answering questions when they are asked of you, contributing to discussions and activities, focusing on class-related matters. Please do not use your cell phones or your computers or your tablets for any non-class purposes. That would be a breach of workplace policies at any of the entry-level careers that you are thinking about, or at the internship. If you have time on your hands where you do not have a responsibility in an internship, you should be asking your supervisor, what else can I do, or where else can I go to find something to do to make a good use of my time and contribute to the organization. Checking your email, playing video games, or watching videos, or anything else of a personal nature shouldn't be a matter which is done in an internship, on the job, or in this classroom, and so please be mindful of that. I'm looking for you in your development of career readiness to be able to accept responsibility for attitudes, behaviors, and work product. Demonstrating an understanding and an ability to respond to constructive criticism, feedback on your work products. And I will speak more shortly about the grading criteria and the expectations for written coursework, so that I'm hopefully clear, and if not, you can certainly ask me to clarify anything that you're uncertain about. Disruptive behavior is described. I did mention, and I want to mention again, that I will call on students even if they don't raise their hand, and that is a practice that I use that is both building career readiness skills, also motivating students to come to class prepared. If you understand that you may be held accountable, you may be called on, and if you don't know the answer, you can pass, or you can BS your answer, or you can make a good faith effort to answer it if you are prepared. Those choices all have consequences, but none of them are serious consequences. However, it's not okay if you haven't already spoken with me about your comfort level with being called on in class, or an accommodation which addresses that issue. Then we're going to work on getting you more comfortable in being called on and how to collect yourself and respond appropriately. Again, building career readiness skills. Okay, attendance policy. I will take class at the I will take attendance at the beginning of every class. I'll keep track of it in Canvas. If you come into class after attendance has been taken, you will have been marked absent. Therefore, If you want that absence to be changed to a tardy, and assuming you come within the first 20 minutes of class, you are entitled to have it changed from an absence to a tardy. If you do two things, you check in with me in person after class has ended and send me an email so that I have a written documentation of why I'm changing an absence to a tardy. If you don't take responsibility for having the absence changed, then it stays an absent. What counts as an absent? Excuse me, arriving after attendance has been taken, unless the procedure above has been followed, repeatedly leaving before the end of class with resting, sleeping, dozing, using your cell phone or your computer for non-class purposes, or three or more tardies will result in an absence. Absences may result in final grade point deduction for two reasons. One, 10% of your grade is attendance. If you're absent, you're not attending. Preparation. If you're absent, you can't demonstrate that are prepared. And participation. Obviously, again, if you're absent, you cannot participate. So the fourth in each subsequent absence, the equivalent of 2 weeks. If you didn't show up for 2 weeks to your job, again, based upon career readiness skills, unless there was a conversation with your supervisor about the circumstances, then there's a pretty strong likelihood that A, you wouldn't get paid if you didn't show up for work, and B, you might not have a job to show up for if there wasn't a legitimate reason for doing so. The responsibilities: if you miss class, please check in with another student or make an appointment. See me during office hours or make an appointment if you need to go over anything that you missed in class after you've spoken with another student. The attendance policy regarding officially sanctioned events is the one that you see in every syllabus. I've already talked about class participation, your ability to opt out. I also want to point out that I use a deliberative discussion model, which means although I recognize that we all have important personal views and experiences that are shaped by our identities, and shape our identities, perspectives, and opinions. Those are important and they're valuable, but the deliberative discussion model says when we're talking about things that I haven't asked for a personal opinion, then we're trying to and working on providing evidence-based argument or evidence in support of whatever our answer is, whether it's in writing or verbally. And so if it is an opinion question, or when I ask just for you to state your opinion, that's fine. You're the expert of your opinion. You don't have to provide empirical data to support that. You may have to explain. You will, however, have to explain. You can't just say, yes, I think that's a good idea. I'm always going to ask, well, can you explain why? What are your reasons why? Tell me why. And obviously respecting other students' opinions, perspectives, and experiences is part of the expectation built around inclusion, diversity, inclusion, and equity, and we'll be modeling that here. Okay, lots of resources available to you, again, with hyperlinks. So I'm a resource, use me. The Academic Advising and Success Office, those are all here. The Enrichment Office information and contact is here. Anything that's in blue is hyperlinked, and so you'll go right to their homepage if you click on that. The Academic Integrity Statement for the college is in the college catalog. It's also restated here. There are any number of ways in which the policy can be activated, including using work from another course and submitting it in this class, or plagiarizing your work, which is why you are required to, and the assignment instructions will ask you what the source of your information was, how to document, and you'll learn how to document in APA style, where did this information come from, and working with anyone else outside of class on a work project, on a work product that's graded, exams in particular, would be considered cheating, and we don't want to go there. So, all right, Disability Services, the Center for Global and Career Services, which we'll be taking a visit to sometime in November. Community Standards, Commuter Resources, the Counseling Center, the COVID Community Agreement Disability. All of the services are listed here, as well as the library and the student handbook, tutoring, and the writing center. So there are many resources to call upon to assist you to do your best work. I am one of them, and there are many others. All right, tech support I spoke about previously. Technical skills, you need to be able to navigate the Canvas learning management system on the course site. You need to have Microsoft Office 365 to create and edit assignments. Assignments that you submit using a Canvas link have to be in a Word, either a doc or a docx Word document, or PDF format. Sometimes JPEGs will be accepted depending upon what the assignment is, but Pages, Notes, Google Docs, those are not those are not formats that can be used for submitting an assignment. Okay, when you're using Canvas, Google Chrome is the recommended browser. You do need to make sure that you have Office 365, or you won't be, whether you use Mac or a PC. If you need help with that, please go to IT and get that squared away without any delay. All right, graded assignments I'm going to talk about when I show you the Canvas site, which is the next video in this 3-video series. The Canvas site is arranged methodically. There's some beginning information and resources, and then each module has its own name, and each module is organized with categories of information, including assignments which are due during or connected to that module. And I will point that out to you in Canvas when we get there. The grading categories are course connection activities, a description of what those are, what the purpose is, and is explained here. It's important that you understand that these assignments have a purpose, that it isn't just, I thought, oh, this is busy work, I've got to give them something to do. Now, I have plenty of things that you could do, but it has to relate to a learning outcome in this course. So the course connection activities are those. The requirements are to follow instructions, which include your name. Everything has to be word processed, and it has to be submitted on the due date and time using the link, assignment link in Canvas. So word processed. You want to correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation. And you want to follow all instructions for the activity. And let's see, attendance I already spoke about. So being here is not enough. You've got to come ready, having done the textbook reading, which is not a lot. Other assigned reading, which includes the lecture notes, course outlines, and that sort of material, which I'll point out to you both at the end of the syllabus, in the part of the syllabus which is what is due today, as well as in the next video, the third and final video, which is an orientation to the Canvas the Canvas site for this course. Okay, so the description of why you have to attend class, be prepared, and participate is here. There are a large number of career exploration, career readiness, competency, and internship preparation assignments. The reasons for those are clearly stated on page 21 in the printed syllabus that you have and shown here. The requirements again are all written work must be word processed, and I'll go through those standards. They apply to all written work in this class. You have to follow instructions. Your name has to be on it, submitted on the due date with the assignment link. 4 exams, all essays, all take home, not timed. If there are issues regarding accommodations, please let me know. You can use open book and open notes. That's materials from the class. You will in the exam essays, you will be instructed to cite your sources and to make a reference page listing, and I tell you exactly how to do that, and I show you how to do that, and I'll cover that again both next, in fact, on writing requirements for this class, and also as we move through the semester and we go through assignments, I'll pull them up in the class before they're due and go over and make sure that you understand. Essays are, the exam essays are not a collective team group think or partnership activity. It's individual effort, and I'm trusting you that you will do that. This is based upon a system of personal and professional integrity among aspiring professionals, certainly in fields such as social work, teaching, any criminal justice field. Very high expectations of ethics and honesty. And I'll say it once and probably say it again. If you breach an ethical responsibility, it's very difficult to rebuild your reputation and sometimes your credibility. If you're a police officer and you are caught making things up in a police report or testifying to things that didn't happen, you can be sure judges take note of that, and the next time that officer appears in that court, the prosecution's case could be jeopardized because of the officer's past conduct. And in fact, there's growing pressure in Massachusetts and in other states for police departments to disclose to the prosecutor's office any police officer who has been found to be untruthful, unethical, or engaged in unprofessional conduct. And the pressure is going to continue to mount in that regard. The same is certainly true with teaching and also in fields such as social work or counseling. All right, so when you do a written assignment, certainly your essay questions, certainly the final project, and other pieces of other assignments that are in writing for this course, the requirements are there has to be word processed in 12-point font size. Why? Because that's APA format. You can choose from among these fonts. Your name has to be at the top, the assignment name, margins, page numbers. You need to write in paragraphs. Each paragraph has one controlling idea. Again, these are work career readiness expectations. If you write a report or a recommendation or a letter and it's one long paragraph, the reader is going to think, this person needs to work on their paragraph structure. Make it so that the reader can see by the fact that you started a new paragraph that you're changing the idea or the main idea of whatever it is you're writing. You're required to install Grammarly, which is free, and there's a course connection activity that you'll have to do. It takes all of maybe a minute and a half, and then use Grammarly. It will correct not all, but it'll catch a lot of spelling, punctuation, and other other errors that wouldn't get picked up in just your word processing edits. Okay, all assignments completed outside of class, which includes obviously your 4 exams, are text-based, meaning they are based, you're getting your information to answer the essay questions from things you have read in this course, whether it's the textbook, the class, the PowerPoints, the assigned readings, whatever it happens to be, videos that have been assigned to be watched. And so you are not going to be writing from a personal opinion point of view unless it says, tell me your opinion. Otherwise, you are supporting your answers based upon the text. And you have to say where the information came from and provide the reference page entry so I could find it to see whether or not it in fact is from where you said it came from. If you put things in an assignment, a writing assignment, and you do not provide the source of the information and a reference page listing, which I will teach you how to do, it's not difficult, then you are potentially subjecting yourself to a possible claim of violation of the college academic honesty policy. And you don't want that. You're going to be doing a fair amount of writing in this course, not the kind of writing that you may typically have done because of the course content. You will need to learn when you need to document your sources, and there are 3 resources posted in Canvas that will help you. At the moment, let me suffice it to say, we'll focus on this. When in doubt, you should always cite. When in doubt, unless it's your personal opinion, if the question or the prompt says, what do you think? Then you don't need to give me the source of what you think. We know that is you. If it goes on to say, explain why you think that, and you're relying upon any information that wasn't your original thinking, any information that you use, any ideas, I don't just mean the words, I mean the ideas. I don't just mean direct quotations. Any information that comes from, that's not your original thinking. If the answer is yes, then if it is your original thinking, then you don't need a citation. If it's not your original thinking, and it's most likely not going to be, some exceptions, then you have to cite your source. And we'll go over this again if need, we will go over it again. Apologize for that.